Ball out. Ball out.
Bow, bow. Bow, bow.
Ball out.
Bow,
Ball out.
bow. All we do is bow.
Ball out.
Bow, bow, bow.
Ball out. Ball out.
Ball out.
Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Dropping by the mall out. Come deliver mail on y'all route. Show them what it's all about. Just get called out. Fall out. Me and my clique, we don't fall out. Me and my chick, we don't fall out. We minding our business, keep y'all out. Break up, get up quick, then we hit licks till it's all out. I hate my job, I'ma call out. Boss of myself, child out. I'm a recruiter, a high percentage shooters. Gotta keep rifles and Rugers. Some people just trifling and losers. Watch for the jackets at night, they be cruising. I can put together. AR Kinston My hitters be tougher than leather. Can't nobody do it better. Glock 9 with the FN. Step in with my best friend. Best friend Smith and West End. If you miss 6, still catch 10. Ball out. Stall out. Pulling up outside the y'all house. Empty till we all out. I got the juice and I'm crazy. If you not a killer, don't say. Hit squad ain't nothing to play with. Undertaker and a grave dig. Best man like Tay Diggs. When you in the paint, gotta play big. Hitters ignorant like cavemen. Went from good fella to made men. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Child out, ball out, get called out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out.
Live Thursday night. Like, share, subscribe. Get your friends, your family, your loved ones in. If you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, comment. We can't wait to get into the topics today. Hopefully the technical bugs are out of the way. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us yesterday. And hopefully we got it a little bit better on your end. But comment, let us know how we sound. Let us know how we doing. Boss Cowboy, what you got?
Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Yes, please let us know how we sound. I'm very curious to know exactly how we sound. That's very important. You know, sound is like everything to a show. And I'm gonna back off the mic. I could tell it's kind of loud. It looks like it, at least from the sound bar. But definitely just let us know, because we put in some work today to make sure that it was running smoother today. And OC, we had some signings. So, like, don't just overwhelm us with just like your enthusiasm. Like, you just look like you're so happy right now. That's exactly what you look like. You look like, hey, I'm having a great day today. Like, it was like did we hit it out the park or something?
Absolutely not.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
See Regina. Look at Regina. Look at Reggie. You see him? You see that?
No, it's not just them two.
You see the brother. You see Jerry. Look at Jerry right there. Look at his fro. His fro all over the place. He looks befuddled. Right? He looks. Look at the look on his face.
Oh man,
right?
I see.
Look at Molly.
I see Molly. Oh.
Look, you see Molly? Look at Molly.
Yeah.
You see that?
Oh Lord. Oh my God. Let me get under here. Yeah, because everybody's looking. They was like, so what's the big deal, OC? Why are you so angry? Like, everybody watching from all over. They try to figure out why you're so angry. Why are you the angry guy today, my brother?
Well. I mean, look, we signed a guy. We signed Mr. Carlos from the Texans. All right, I'm gonna call him Mr. Carlos. Okay. Then we signed another defensive tackle from the Bears that's even older than Carlos and even less productive than Carlos. And we signed this guy to a 1-year deal. knowing that we need help from the three technique position and possibly a backup for Antoine Woods, we signed these two rotational defensive linemen. Why not save that money, boss Cowboy, and go ahead and pay a little bit more and get somebody that can actually shoot the B gap and create some havoc and make plays behind the line of scrimmage? I mean, look at this, man. I mean, wait and see. I hear you, Kevin. I hear you. I don't need to wait and see about this. I don't have to wait and see about this.
Oh man!
All right. We don't have to wait and see about this. And look, the signing that makes the most sense, and I'm going to explain this a little bit later in the show why, is Tarell, right? That's the signing that makes a little sense. I can kind of see why they did that, and I can maybe protect that a little bit in terms of some of the things that he can do on the football field. But this other stuff that we did, man, I don't get it, man. I mean, as you said, Marshall special. I'm just going to.
This not Marshall's. Don't you dare insult my Marshall's picks by putting these guys in that category.
Listen, this is a Walmart special. This is the rollback. You know the rollback.
I think you're actually insulting Walmart.
No, rollback. You know, rollback. You know, when something goes from like $2 to like 50 cents, it's like a rollback special at Walmart. You can just get a whole bunch of it cheap. That's what this is. This is the rollback Walmart special. Like, what in the world, man, are we thinking, man? I mean, you got Mr. Carlos. God bless Mr. Carlos. Like Mr. Carlos. Nothing personal against Mr. Carlos. He played in a 3-4. He played DE in a 3-4 with the Texans. You bring him here.
Man, we got the tape. I mean, you know, like
let's get into it. Man.
We got the tape because you know,
and I see you moving the chains. You're not mad at Urban signing. Okay, I am moving the chains. I am mad at the Urban
because I want to look at the tape. I ain't cutting you off. I'm just saying because maybe that's why you the way that you are. OC, is it the tape? Because it sounds like you looked at these guys.
I did. Because
I looked at the guys too, but I don't think I looked as in depth as you. So this is the beauty of Boss Cowboy Sports. We're going to put our toe in the waters together, and we're going to scout these guys. We're going to put on the tape, and everybody with your own eyes are going to be able to take a look. Is it that fair? Is it that the fair thing to do? And we're going to also do it in even more in-depth analysis. The OC really wanted to break down these guys even heavier today. We had to hold him back. We still might. Should we give it to him or should we give him the film breakdown? Let's
comment in the chat. Comment in the chat. Let me know what
you think. Let's for real. Yeah, like y'all tell us, do you want the OC to really open up the film? Or do you want to get kind of like a snippet of the review? I already know the answer. If they like me, they want to see it now.
Let's see what they're saying in the chat. Let me see.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, and then moving the chain. She said, hold on real quick. And I had a good time with her Saturday. Like super fun. I didn't say I was throwing a parade or anything. I'm just saying I don't want to stage an insurrection over it.
No insurrection moving the chains. I feel you. But you are going to get a healthy critique. Okay?
What's up, Richard?
This is a healthy critique.
Hold on, see, because say, man, I think the people... You got to give the people what they want. You know this song. Curtis say, open it up, OC. They want to hear the truth, bro. Everybody said, open it up. Oh, Queen in the building. Queen said, OC, let it out, brother. Let it out. Oh my God. Everybody said, open it up. Oh man, what was your number in college, brother?
79.
Hey, listen, man. Put in hashtag 79OC, man. That's what y'all got to do, because OC finna go ape wow. All right, listen. Let me see who we gonna put on first. Since we say we doing film. That's what we say we doing, right, OC?
That's what we doing.
All right, so let me see. This is where I get to pretend like I was ready. Okay, so how about we do? Let's do Carlos Watkins. Okay.
Okay. Look at Mr.
I think Carlos Watkins Hey, man, y'all didn't put in the hashtag 79. Y'all got to show my boy some love. Oh, I see it. It's showing up. I see it. They showing the love to the hashtag 79 in the building. They putting the OC in the building. So we got Carlos Watkins, and then let's talk about his stats in general. Then we go turn on this tape. Is that fair, OC?
That's fair.
Okay.
So look, Carlos Watkins, man. I mean, he started in 12 games last year. I mean, he had 27 total tackles. He had 17 solos. He had 2 sacks. This was his highest sack total year. Okay, his highest sack total year in his whole NFL career, which is 4 years. He has a total of in his career of 4 sacks. Okay. He has, more assists than solos. That's obvious. Him playing in the 3-4, being defensive end there. Not a highly productive guy. He doesn't play every series. He's a rotational defensive tackle. He's in and out of the game, and we'll show you why when we can get into this film. But that's his stats at a glance.
Let's get into the film.
All right. So if you look at Carlos here, and actually we'll wait to the next one because we had a little block on that one, Boss Cowboy. But there you go, 91. So you see him playing the 3 technique. Okay, let's look at him. Okay, here he is. He's holding his ground, right? And but he's not a guy that's going to penetrate and make plays. And he did okay one-on-one in that block, but he got blocked out, right? The way he was supposed to get blocked out. So you see him again, 91 right there. And so let's take a look at him here. You see him here. Heavy guy, again, he got pushed out of the hole. So he got beat one-on-one. He didn't beat the block one-on-one. And this is why, in particular, he does not excite me. And I will show you one thing about him that I think is pretty solid in terms of why, right? So you see him here. He's standing up. He's coming up field. I mean, he's a body of the field. He's not really impacting the play, right? He's just playing a lane. And so, unfortunately, look at this. He gets blocked. He gets beat. I mean, if this would have been a sweep, Derrick Henry would have been around the corner, right? He's not beating that left tackle, right? He's getting blocked. And so, I mean, here it is again. We look at him again. Here he is playing the left side defensive end. And so, if you look at this guy, I mean, again, he doesn't threaten you, overwhelm you with power. Here he is here. And this is what I don't like. Look how he stops. You see, he's walking. He's tired. He wants a cup of water. All right, I don't like the effort.
Cup of water.
I don't like the effort. I don't like the hustle. Let's look at him here. Where's the effort? Show me the burst. Show me the burst. Show it to me. No, just I'm gonna push you a little bit. No, the ball's not coming out. No, just time to take a walk. I mean, he's not hustling to the ball. And so here's the problem with that, guys.
Oh my God.
He's going from a 3-4 defense where he can just hold a block to a 4-3 defense where the defensive tackles in particular, they have to be active, penetrating players, okay? So you can't be lazy. You can't take plays off, or you're going to really hurt that defense and hurt your linebacker play. Now, on one play I did see, which Boss Cowboy didn't show in this highlight, is that, listen, I see you. Listen, here's the deal. He does hold his gap when he gets double teamed, right? I haven't seen him just completely get blown off the ball. So if you're looking for somebody to hold up against a double team, he's solid in that regard.
That's where he's solid. That's
where he's solid. And so maybe
the pain in the chat box so funny, bro. It's pain out of the world. It's so much pain.
Listen, maybe he helps Jalen and LVE, roam more freely and make a few more plays, right?
That's
but he himself.
So listen, man. I appreciate that. I gave him.
That's the only thing I see.
That's the truth. Like it's just funny. The chat got me crying. Like I'm really like crying.
That's the only thing.
They going off. The dude said, sorry."
Look,
but that is a benefit that you said. I'm sorry, laugh so hard. He said, "I'm sorry." Oh, it hurt. This boy got me crying.
I mean, we know this, Boss Cowboy. We've all seen guys, and we've played with guys that we look and we think after we see the tape, we look and see, why is that guy in the game?
I'm the real life emoji, bro. I'm the real life crying emoji right now.
Well, you like, why is that guy in the game? And so listen, if you want a guy, look. Okay, so listen, let me give you a positive. He has a good. okay? He has good lower body strength, okay? He can hold up against a double team, but he ain't making no plays in the backfield. He's not shedding no blocks. He doesn't have any pass rush moves.
Jerry.
I mean,
Go ahead, OC. Go ahead,
I mean,
bro.
just I mean, I can we can go on from here. I mean, I think the people have seen enough of this particular player. We can move on to the next player. But my
Okay.
overall assessment about him is this, okay? And I'll summarize it here. Is that listen, this guy is a guy that is strong at the point of attack. However, he's not
Yeah.
a guy he's a guy that can consume some blocks, okay? But he is not going to make plays in the backfield. He's not going to give you sacks. He's not going to be highly productive in terms of tackles for loss or anything like that. He's a rotational body to give your star a blow, which is why I don't understand why you signed him first, because he would still be there 3 or 4 weeks from now had you not signed him first.
Oh my God, bro. These emojis coming in the show and everything, bro. They got me dying. Oh man, like just hey, you didn't even have to do a field breakdown, bro. We just could have just put that on and just could have been quiet. Like literally, we'd have to say a word. The film itself, that's what the Cowboys did, bro. Now they brought Carlos into also a room that's also lacks experience. It lacks experience in the coaching. It's a first-time defensive tackles coach who was only the linebackers coach last year. And the year before that, he was in quality control. And quality control is short for bringing the coaches coffee and holding up the clipboards and the scout team. He ran scout teams. Like, we being honest, like this is from playing experience. We know what quality control means. So sometimes you gotta cry and laugh and keep from crying. Because God,
I'm gonna summarize this with one last statement. I'm sorry, Joe Hamilton, right, backup defensive tackle that's currently on the roster. If you want to bring in my man to replace him, that makes sense because you're going to get a little bit more productivity, okay? But if you're not bringing him in to replace Joe Hamilton, I don't understand why you sign him. He's not an upgrade with any other defensive tackle. You're not getting rid of Tristan Hill. You're not getting rid of Neville Gallimore. I mean, you're not giving those guys snaps. You're not giving that guy those two guys snaps, okay? You're not doing it if you got good sense. So I really don't understand what's going on with that. And I'm going to stop about that one. We can move on.
Boy, these emojis got me crying, bro. Oh, man, bro. I'm dying laughing at these boys, man. Oh, man, it did. Listen, man. This is coming from my boy, Kerry. Kerry said what you said earlier.
Hamilton,
Yeah.
better. Yeah, I mean, Kevin, listen, Hamilton has been slightly less productive than Carlos, okay, Kevin, on that. I mean, Hamilton in his 3-year career has had a half a sack, okay? This guy's had 4. All right. So, I mean, if you're looking at productivity, I mean, he's a slight upgrade in terms of productivity. Hamilton, I think, has better upside because he's more active. OK, so in that regard, I agree with you. But in terms of just sheer stats and productivity, no, I mean, my man has had a little bit more productivity. But I'm saying that's the only possible interchangeable piece that could make a little bit of sense. I don't see it beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Matt DuPont made a great point where he said maybe he's a camp body. He ain't going to make it to camp though. So, I mean, it's one of those things to where every year, especially we already go into we go into the off season in major panic mode of our defense. So when you see the first moves being made as, the guys that were made, then it does make you kind of lose heart. But Mac has a great point to where sometimes we just kind of want to, maybe calm down, maybe a little bit. But hey, listen,
Okay.
Nobody can tell us to calm down, to be honest. Nobody, because we have reason to have anxiety. We do. We do, man. So it's one of those things to where when I see the panic that's in the chat, I understand, and I'm cool with it. It's what it is. Especially when it's the full opposite of what we've been begging for, right, OC? What we've been
Yeah,
saying,
man.
we need to get us a DT. If there's ever a place we don't mind you spending money, like all of us, every podcaster, everybody around the country, 105.3 The Fan and ESPN, Stephen A, even like everybody, even the people that we can't stand, but they were the star, was like, we need a DT. And then when this is one of your first one, and it's like, really? It's like, we supposed to be kicking it for Valentine's Day, and you take me to 7-Eleven, baby, for real, and you go give me a Reese's Pieces and say, hey, baby, nah, I don't want your kiss. I get it, Cowboy Nation. I all the way get it. Yeah, man. So let's go over if you don't mind, unless you had anything else to say, let's talk about the second free agent that we brought in. If you want to go ahead and go through that, OC.
Let's go ahead and do it.
All right, man. You taking lead today, especially because a lot of these guys are interior, and I know that you really talk interior football well. So if you don't mind, please break down these guys for us. So we go into our next guy that we brought in. And we really not trying to be Debbie Downers. What we doing is we putting these guys on tape and we letting y'all decide. So OC, we have Tarell Basham. All right.
Yeah. Tarell Basham.
And
was
just real quick, I just want to give his background. Just real quick. 2017, he was a round 3 pick from Ohio. And the OC already did his research, and it was one of the guys that the Cowboys was looking at originally. Didn't you tell me that, OC?
I did.
Okay, I was just making sure. So, and then from the production, I know you also looked into his production before we go into his film. Kind of tell us about what you think, I guess, of his production, my man.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal, man. He's a backup rotational defensive end based on production. I mean, to me, and I said this before we got on the air, I mean, why not take the money that you're going to pay Basham, and you could cut one of the guys that are one of our backup defensive ends, 1 or 2, right? And you could go ahead and pay $7 to $9 million a year to a guy that could get you 9 or 12 sacks a year. Why not do that? That makes more sense, right? But, I mean, in terms of his productivity, he's a young guy, okay? So here's the positive about him, and I'm going to start off with the positives about him. He's a young guy, right? He plays long, and I'll show you some stuff on the film, and he has some upside based on his coaching. So maybe Dan Quinn saw something, right? Maybe Dan Quinn saw something and said, I can work with this guy. I can help this guy actually turn the corner. So here he is standing up at the top of the screen. So you notice here, he plays responsibility pretty well. And notice he's a long guy and he has long arms. And so what you'll notice is that he plays with his hands better than he plays with his feet. All right. And that's what you'll kind of notice with this guy. So if you notice just his first initial steps, he's looking to engage with his hands, which is good, right? Long, lengthy arms, right? Gets in on that tackles. Good job maintaining his contained backside responsibility. So not bad with him, okay? He's a young guy. He plays with a lot of effort, and that's the thing that you like about him. He plays with a lot of effort. He doesn't really have really good pass rush moves. However, again, notice he does really good stabbing with his arm and extending, keeping that offensive tackle off of him. So that's what you're going to see with him as really his strongest suit. Playing really, really good with his hands. So look what he does against number 70, right? He uses the stab technique, and he keeps that offensive tackle off of his body so he can get off. Boop, there it is right there. Use the inside hand so he can come off quickly, right? But not high effort by number 70, by the way. That's not really a good left tackle, all right? So I don't want you to think he's playing against a Pro Bowler, okay? That's not the case here, all right? So let's take another look at him. He's standing up. He's a young guy, and I'll give you guys this in advance, okay? So here he is in the pass rush. He needs to bend better. And he ends up getting some pressure here. But it's only because this offensive tackle is setting way too deep, right? Look at this guy. He oversets this guy. So he takes him to the quarterback. So look at number 70, 1, 2. He should stop right there. He takes an extra step, and he takes him right into the quarterback. But you notice what he does do, he extends really well, right? Extends, pushes the guy back into the quarterback. So he uses his hands really well. But the problem with him in terms of his productivity for sacks, he doesn't bend at the hips well.
We go come back to that question, Matt. Would we rather have paid out? And that's a good question. We'll come back to that.
Great question. Yeah, he doesn't bend at his hips really, really well. but he's a good hand fighter. So let's check him out here. Down the line, he slaps the back of the guy. So here he is hustling. He gets in on the tackle. Great job.
Yeah,
Coming
that
down the
was
line.
nice.
Yeah, good job. Good job. So he's a hustle guy, right? So the two things you like about this guy, I'll say three things. He hustles, he's young, he plays well with his hands. All right, he plays well with his hands, but he's not an elite pass rusher because he really doesn't have pass rush moves, and he doesn't really bend well. So if you look at, he plays really high, and a part of that's because they always have him standing up. But even with standing up, he doesn't bend. You see how he sidesteps, but he doesn't bend. And so that is the thing that allows an offensive tackle to just stick his hands on him, right, and then kind of push him past the quarterback. But if it's a run play, he's gonna hold up that offensive lineman. So let's look at him again. Take another look at him. Here he is again, hand fighting, and notice,
and great hustle. Great hustle, man.
Effort. Yeah, hustle, effort. Hustle and effort. That's what you like about him. He plays with a lot of effort. But if you look at this from the other view, and this is, we'll get into some technical nuance. He needs to pick a side of number 70. He doesn't need to sprint down his middle because that's not going to produce. Right here, he sprints down the middle. He could have picked the side. So number 70 actually does a pretty decent job blocking him, right? Mm-hmm. But when Baker Mayfield tries to escape, then he can come off quickly and just chase because Baker Mayfield actually broke the pocket. So anytime a quarterback breaks the pocket, then now it's just who's the fastest type game. So here he is at the top of the screen. All right, he plays his responsibility, snatches the quarterback. Quarterback tries to do a sneak. He's unblocked. So he does a good job closing down. So he has potential. So I do see why, at a discount, why you would actually sign this guy because he's a young guy, right? And you could maybe coach this guy up, get him technically more sound, teach him to bend, teach him to use his feet and his hips with those long arms that he has. And then you would have something. Then you would have a guy that could produce 8 to 10 sacks a game, right? Not a game, a season for you, right? But right now, technically, he's a guy that doesn't really have many pass rush moves. I mean, that's kind of who he is. But he's an effort guy. He's young, and he plays well with his hands. So he makes the most sense out of the signings that we did today.
Yeah, and so as you can see, we letting the tape talk to you, and then obviously the OC is doing a fantastic job of this analysis. Matter of fact, obviously, man, I think it's just appropriate that everybody just great job, OC. Great job. So that segued to Alden. I think obviously the people are leading the show right now, and that did like really truly lead into Alden Smith. So I guess, does this say anything about Alden Smith?
This says that, and we spoke about this before, all of these signings make a lot more sense if you plan on getting rid of older bodies, right? It makes a lot more sense, okay? So here's the deal. I mean, Alden Smith, no offense, is heavier. He's older, right? He's not the guy that he was in San Francisco. And at the end of the day, if you feel like you can get more productivity out of a younger body or that he's comparable, then from a GM perspective, you should take the younger body and get rid of the older body because you're going to have a lot more years from him than you would Alden Smith productive years. So I think that this says that Alden Smith could be on the bubble, but based upon the guy's youth and productivity, I wouldn't necessarily rule out Alden Smith right now.
Yeah, could you elaborate just a little bit more? Because I think it's too early, OC. I really do. I think it's a little bit too early to know because, see, we don't even know what kind of types these guys are, honestly, that we looking at. We don't know if these are camp bodies. We don't know if they actually really got a real plan with these guys. So really the real Cowboys action, in my opinion, is week 2, week 3. That's when historically we have all witnessed the Cowboys. Like we got Cobb week 2, right? We got Alden, not Alden Quinn. We got him in week 3. We got Cooper, remember the guard? We got him in week 2. So like, being all the way honest, we all have a reason to have bad taste in our mouth. But OC, you did a good job of sweetening it with Tarell. Like, you know, just a little bit sweeter. Like, obviously, it's not the best tasting candy in the world. You know,
No, no.
but
But you could have
but you
something.
helped. Like, and you know, you really helped that at least you see a guy with a motor that can maybe make some occasional plays, maybe slightly above Armstrong.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
maybe he coming in to push Armstrong.
Right.
Maybe that might make both of those guys better.
Right.
But so I think with Alden it's just too early, because Alden is somebody that when I put him in the Boss Cowboy God, his heart has to be with Dallas, understandably so. You have to, because we basically took you off the street, right? And we one of the most forgiving organizations in the NFL. Don't let anybody say anything opposite about that. We are very forgiving as an organization, and we are very, very, very patient with mental illness. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the best. But at the same time, you know how it is. Sometimes you say, thank you for opening up the door, but I cannot turn down what's around the corner for me. And at his age, I think Alden is going to have to take the best bag, because he's also and when I say bag, that's Ebonics, meaning he has to take the best contract. He got to take the best money right now. That's what he have to do for himself and his family. So he's not going to have his heart in it right now, because he was somebody that experienced losing it. So he's going to appreciate even the scraps of what we would consider scraps of a contract, because everybody that was telling, for instance, Dak and Zeke to be team friendly was basically telling them to throw away millions. Well, when you was in his position where you almost lost it all, you know the value of it. So from that, I still lean that he's going to get away from us. But who knows, man? Some of these guys still think with their hearts too, because that's how I would think. I would be like, man, thank y'all for opening up the door, but hey, I got a family.
Yeah. Yeah, this is business at the end of the day, and so.
But he
I
might think
that
with his heart.
He might. He might. I think that Alden is a guy that does appreciate the loyalty that the Cowboys, showed him, and the chance that he got. So I think that he's going to have to be close to market. I don't think that this is going to be discount shopping. I don't think that he comes back at $1.5 million a year, right? I think that in the neighborhood of $3 to $4 million on a short year contract, on a short maybe 2-3 year deal, I think that gets the deal done with Alden. But if you try to completely bargain shop with him, and then we get past week 2 and 3 of free agency, I think that another team will pay him based upon what they saw and the potential of his upside in a full 16-game season, with having a year underneath his belt coming back from that long hiatus. And I think that's what I think is going to happen with Alden. But right now, as you said, it's a little bit too early to tell. But some of these young guys could be gap stops, or could be just to come in and bring competition. And I think that, Tarell in particular, I think he has some potential. And I think that if he's coached properly, and I think that this will tell a lot about Dan Quinn and his ability to help influence that defensive line with the young coach that he has. If he's able to develop some of these guys and get more out of these guys, that will go a long way to show his worth in terms of being the new DC for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and Richard said, and I hope you're right, Richard. Richard said that basically he feel like Alden is going to sign next week and ball out. Like, I sure hope you're right, Richard, my brother. Like, I really do, man. I hope you're right, because we looking lean. And he will feel good to come back, because it's almost like COVID shopping is not looking good, but COVID shopping might get better later. Because I think we got to be a little bit patient on one thing. We not the only team out there with budget issues. So these are the flash signings. These are the flash signings. When everything slow down, it's gonna get tight on some players, OC. Like, when this is what free agency looked like when it started.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I mean, the Cowboys are kind of in a situation to where they got to be smart. But what the thing is that I see is that they have to spend in the right places. That's the key.
Yeah, and my boy Nathaniel came in. He said, basically, what did I miss, boss and OC? Well, man, we just going through the free agency. That's what we doing. We going through the picks and we putting them on film. So if you missed it, that's okay, because obviously the show is recorded. We went right into the film. So the good thing is that we're not just giving you our opinion. We actually going in and we breaking these guys down, as well as letting you put your own eyes on them. And we doing it real time, which is obviously a benefit. And that's one thing we gonna continue to do, is we're gonna go in and we're gonna be able to show you these guys as they're signed. You know, and y'all know, y'all heard a little bit of background. The OC has a family. It's sometimes like that. It's okay. You know, it's all good. You just heard those beautiful children in the back. But at the same time, yeah, that's what we're doing right now, Nathaniel. So we getting ready to actually talk about the third guy that we signed. And if we might get into a few candidates that we also looking at that we want us to sign, if we, you know, it depends. But right now we want to just really highlight the guys that we signed and then just put our eyes on them. You ready for the last guy for today, brother?
Let's do it.
All right. So let me pull him up, OC, man. I think you're doing great too, brother. I think you're really killing this. Now, Kate, one of the people that talked about the third guy that we signed, Brent Urban, and he was basically categorized as a run stopper, OC. So again, we go do the same things we did with the previous guys. So his production also is very anemic, at least just, you know, anemic, but he's a run stopper. Do you even expect flash from a run stopper? He's a massive human. He's 6'7", 305. And I'm gonna be all the way honest with you. I haven't looked at him not even one time. So I know you have. So we go through his tape as well, and then let you diagnose him from a lineman's eye, and then go from there. Now this is his career stats, real quick, looking at him, and just we can kind of start the conversation on him before we start breaking him down. See what you got, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, so this guy is an older version of Carlos. Actually, Carlos is actually more productive if you break down his career over the years. I mean, this is purely a run-stopping
So hold on
defensive
real
tackle.
quick. I want to be clear on that. Carlos is the same guy that everybody was laughing at.
Yes, I'm saying statistically wise, Carlos is more productive. This guy has 2.5 sacks over a 9-year NFL career. Carlos had 4 over a 4-year career. So statistically speaking, in terms of impact on a game, in terms of tackles, Carlos is trending to be more productive than this guy. This is a lunch pail defensive tackle, and there's nothing wrong with that, because everybody has to have a lunch pail backup rotational defensive tackle. But in terms of impact on that defense, when you talk about a 4-3 defense, you need more than a lunch pail guy. And so what I'm looking for is the stud. Right? We don't have a stud yet, right? We're signing these backup rotational defensive linemen right now, and we don't have a stud. And this guy is an older version, has more tread on his tire than Carlos, right? So to me, this one I'm not as excited about. I'll get into the tape and break down the good and the bad. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go, man. Oh man, boy, the OC show know how to piss in your yogurt.
I'm just trying to keep it honest with you guys, man. Hey, you know, you get the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So, you know, and here it is. I mean, this guy, he does a good job trying to battle, but he doesn't really get off any blocks. And any blocks, you know, he's a big guy. Here he is, big old guy. Big old guy, gets kind of blocked. I mean, didn't get in on the tackle. I mean, he's trying to just play leverage. I mean, he's an older guy, and I mean, he's in his 30s, got a couple good years left in him probably. And I mean, he's a rotational backup guy. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm not trying to be negative, but I don't really understand it. I don't really get it, right? I mean, I'm looking at him here. Here he is. He's slow. Yeah, he slowly got off but he's not explosive.
Yeah, he didn't explode off of him, but he it was strong, and then he was able to get his left arm free to make this play. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. He slowly gets off the block. Here it is. Boom. Here he goes. Okay. Okay. Good job. He gets in attack. I'm giving credit on that one. Good job. Slow, like molasses, man.
Forever. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, here he is again. Let's check him out versus the Saints. Yeah, I mean, you know.
And all his boys like, you mother.
Womp, 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 womp. So he's offsides here, right? So hey, letting other teams know.
I agree. Matt
count.
Said he looked better than Carlos so far. Yes.
Yeah.
I think Carlos, man. I hated his Texas tape. Yeah, I hate
Let's
it.
keep watching.
So this is a new game, y'all.
Yeah,
Now this is a game he should turn up. This is your division.
Let's keep watching. All right,
Let me
here
see.
he
Now,
is.
that's
He's coming
nice.
up here. Okay, now
Say.
he got some push now. He got
Now,
some
nice
push. Got some
push.
extension.
Listen,
got some push.
he might
Got
at least
some
be a
push.
snack.
Yeah, he got some push.
Yeah, that was
Look,
great push. That wasn't weak push. That's
Look,
great.
Yeah, got some push, but the reason why he got the push is because the guard didn't see him. That's why he got the push, because the guard was looking outside. He flashed suddenly. The guard wasn't ready for him. All right, let's look at another play. Okay, I want to give him credit where credit is due, but he plays with all fours. I mean, think about that. If a guy plays with all fours, I mean, think about this. You know that he's just there. Now he does a good job here. Comes off the block, makes.
He
tackle,
okay
right?
at the point. I'm liking him at the point of attack, man.
Yeah,
He okay.
Yeah, listen.
He all right.
He's not bad. He's not bad, man. Here
92.
he is. Okay, good. All right, comes off. Good job. All right, gets in on the tackle. Good job. Yes, he's better than Carlos. He's stronger than Carlos, right?
Yeah,
Stronger
you can
than
see
Carlos.
it. He holds at the point. At least the linebacker. Okay, I'm starting to see what Dallas might have done, OC. They got some guys that take doubles well.
Exactly.
That's what they got.
That's all they did.
They basically got like, hey man, we can't just let we can't let you get pushed like y'all did last year. That's the guys we got right here. It's nothing sexy about these guys. These guys are just keeping our linebackers free. That's what I see, OC. Yeah, I feel you on that. It's
lunch pail. I call them lunch pail guys, and I said before at the beginning, I said, look, every team got to have some lunch pail guys. I'm looking for the stud though. These are lunch pail guys. So look at him here again, lunch pail guy. So he's strong at the point of attack, right? He actually gets some push on that offensive guard, the left guard, and it comes off and he makes the play. So good job there, right? Good job there. All right, here he is, plays on all fours. But pass rush, who are you going to get for pass rush? That's the only question I have. But on the run, if you're trying to get better throwing, great job. He defeats the block. Great job.
Yeah. On the point of attack, we say that. We basically saying when they engage each other. Okay, that's the point. That's the first, when they first engage each other, that's the point of attack. So at the point, he looks good, man. I mean, you know.
He's strong.
He's strong, and it's almost like he's an upgrade at least to Poe from that. You know what I mean? And I think he'll help on the run game. And if he's not somebody that's gonna be no major run stopper, but if your linebackers don't play better, at least with this, then it's really time to look at linebacker. Wouldn't you say, OC?
I would. I mean, listen, he's an upgrade in the sense of this. He's a guy that you're not going to blow off the ball going one-on-one.
Right.
We had some guys on the field last year that got blown off the ball one-on-one.
Well said.
Right? So he's a guy that's going to hold up, and look at him here. He's going to hold up one-on-one. So if he plays against a big old guy, he anchors down, right? And then he just runs, he's not an athletic dude, but he gets off and tries to get on the play. So he's a guy that's going to hold up one-on-one at the point of attack, and that's what we didn't have last year. So in that regard, yes, I like him, but man, Boss Cowboy, I'm keeping it real. Where's the stud at, man? Where's the stud? And maybe they don't get a stud, right? Maybe they go with these guys and they think that our linebackers are so athletic and so good that if we get guys to hold up better at the point of attack versus single and double teams, then LVE and Jalen Smith should just run bananas and both have 150 tackles apiece. Maybe that's the strategy. I don't know.
I'm thinking that might be the strategy. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense, because you're right. We not seeing the super playmakers coming from that middle. This was not a playmaker middle. There was literally, when you looked at Carlos' tape, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna just kind of put these all the way on because I think I'm starting to see this clear. I think, man, when you dealing with Carlos and Brent, is Steven is being Steven. That's what's going on. He's saying, listen. And we were saying this the entire offseason. We was saying to a degree, how can you really blame Jalen them when there's a tidal wave of guards and centers washing on them, bro?
True. We've
been saying this, so from this, they at least can say they answered it. And I'm with you, Gary. Because Gary just keeping it all the way 100. He said, hey, man, boss, I don't trust that. I'm with you. I want a playmaker too. But I'm trying to interpret this, like what's going on here and what are the assets of these guys and how would they make us better, right? And the only answer is freeing up your linebackers, because there's nothing sexy about these guys except that they don't get pushed easy. That's all.
That's it. They don't really make plays. And so, I mean, here's the deal too. And let me give some counterbalance to some of, what some people may think is a harsh criticism. Look, if you believe Neville Gallimore will continue to develop, he showed some flashes. If you believe that Tristan Hill will come back and be way better, right, than he was, and he showed signs of maturity those first several games he did before he was injured. If you believe those are your true two-gap guys, right, if you believe those guys are your true penetrating three technique, maybe one technique guys, then you feel good about signing these two lunch pail guys, because you feel like you may get some explosiveness and penetration and playmaking ability out of your two young guys, right? Your two young guys based upon their development and their projection. If you feel good about that, then you feel great about signing these two guys. If you don't, and you're not sure about that, then I don't really understand signing both these guys.
Yeah, man. So that's the free agents for the day, and it's not honestly too much to take away from it. Just really, it's not too much to, start actually, having a parade, but while y'all doing that, man, make sure y'all go into Facebook, hit them likes and shares. Please do that real quick. That's one of the things that help us out greatly, is doing that. And also we greatly appreciate it when y'all, go in and hit the bell and subscribe to Boss Cowboy Sports once again. We could do it to you one more time. Make sure you follow all the steps you're seeing. And it's the Dallas Cowboy truth. We tell the truth when it comes to these Dallas Cowboys. But the thing is about us, it wasn't opinions today. We were showing the tape. So you could still walk away thinking totally different than both of us, because we just turned it on. How you interpret it is up to your eyes. And my boy Steven Johnson, I appreciate it. He said done. I appreciate that, man. So once again, y'all please, thanks, Steven. Y'all continue to do this so that y'all can get these notifications, because we send a lot of stuff on Will Fuller. So obviously we go break down Will Fuller. Like, we go do a whole breakdown on Will Fuller. Matter of fact, you want to do that right now, OC, or do you want to go?
Let's do it.
All right. I mean, y'all gonna have to give me time to queue up Will Fuller. Okay, let me queue up Will Fuller, and then we go talk about him real quick. But OC, just, I guess you can talk to him. Let me go with moving the change real quick on her comment. You can kind of take that, OC, and I queue up Will Fuller, because she said something that's kind of interesting. She said, I feel good about Gallimore. I'm on the fence about Hill still. If these signings can free up those linebackers and improve the tackles, let me click on the rest of it so I can see what she said. The tackles for loss stats, then I'm going to be a happy lady. Yeah, great thought. and then hold on, he could say doo-doo first week of free agency.
see, Eric, I agree with you. See, that comment I agree with. Yeah, and the moving and change, I agree with you too. All right, so look, I mean, if you think about Gallimore, he's definitely showed more quicker upside. And actually, I thought highly of him coming out of Oklahoma. I liked what I saw in him. I think that technically he gets the nuances of playing defensive tackle at a high level in a competitive environment. He brought it on a little bit quicker, right, than you had with Tristan Hill. I think that Tristan Hill is a big, strong athlete. He's raw, right? I think he's raw, right? But I think that Neville Gallimore is more technically sound, which is why you saw more productivity out of him younger. So that's what I think about those two. But both of those guys still have a tremendous amount of upside. Believe it or not, Tristan Hill, because he's so raw, he's big and he's quick, he actually has the greater upside versus him or Neville Gallimore. But Gallimore is just more ready right now, if that makes sense.
Say Buddha with his betting feelings. Like Buddha, he's a gambler. He's a bookie.
He got a feeling a legit safety signing is coming. I hope you're right, Buddha. I hope you're right about that. Because if not, I'm gonna tell you right now, the Cowboys may draft a corner or do something like that with that 10th pick if they don't go ahead and sign a safety. Now, I'm gonna go out and say that right now. Okay, so you heard it here first, just in case that happens. But yeah, I hope you're right, Buddha. What you think about that, OC? I mean, Boss Cowboy. I am.
I'll
OC.
be you. Yeah, I'll be you though, man. That's a compliment, bro. That's a compliment to be my brother. That's a compliment. All right, I'm not gonna look at Will Fuller because William Kill, he really tightened us up. He said basically Will Fuller was already signed, and y'all listen. Free agency moving fast. Sometimes we'll do videos on guys and they'll already be signed. You know,
Yep.
or you might even misread the date. I did that today on the cornerback. Misread the date and still did the video. But it's one of those things that that's why I always say the Boss Cowboy guide is written in pencil. Like, be real patient with us as we kind of go through these candidates. But one of the things that we trying to do is we trying to also do this together. You know, that's the main thing that we doing is we trying to actually go through these guys as fans together because we really believe here that your voice matters. Now, the OC, I can do this two ways. I can debut one of the guys that I'm heavy on right now that I think could kind of complete the back end of our defense, or I can do a video tomorrow. If y'all want to hear about one of the candidates that I think right now, and I double checked again, this guy's not signed yet, unless I misread it. But it's somebody that I think will make us better. Do y'all want to see that now, or do y'all want me to come out with a video on it to where it's just broken down only for this player? Because I already got him queued up. It's up to y'all. So I'm gonna give y'all about 3 seconds to decide on that.
And while they decide, Boss Cowboy, I'm gonna chime in on the tremendous value that we have from the offensive line position in light of a recent signing of a person I did a video on. We didn't get a chance to drop it, Trent Williams. Right, this guy signed 6 years, $125 million. He has 55 or 36, I believe, $55 million guaranteed, making him the highest offensive paid lineman in the NFL history. What do you think about that, Boss Cowboy, in light of how we've paid some of our linemen? And how do you think this projects for the future on the re-signing of some of our young guys?
He signed almost a penny over market, and it's going to depend on the play of our guys. So, Tyron Smith coming up, 2024? So it depends on what Tyron Smith shows up to 2023. That's going to determine what he's going to receive at 2024. So I'm going to be honest, man, it's too early for me. I would be grossly, if I made it based on today, if we made it just on today, then yeah, Tyron would set the market. And his position is one that you don't want to replace once it's gone. If you're in that position, in my opinion, you want to start even looking at his replacement if you anticipating issues, which honestly, I don't, because they just announced the television contracts. We were so on top of that, it was bananas. So the numbers are out now, and everybody can really clearly see that it's getting ready to spike. So, and it's like we said, everybody that's signed before next year's revenues come in is getting ready to be at a major discount. Everybody. It's just really about managing through this year. And as I'm looking at the chat, everybody's saying they want to get the film now. Drop that fire. All right. Y'all want it, we go give it. And Steve said, boss, I'm still laughing about how you handled that food last week on BJJ's channel. Salute my brother on calling out that clown. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, because, man, so you didn't see this OC, man. Somebody came in and they were just like, and just being just real crazy at boss, man. And I was like, you know, it was late, man. I didn't have my lunch, and man, I let that dude have it. I was like, man, just because sometimes, man, I just don't feel like it. I really don't. I don't feel like dealing with you clowns, man. Like, we can have a discussion. We can go back and forth and disagree. That's what men and women do. That's fine. But it's not going to be any insults at boss. No, you're going to get choke slam. I promise you.
Well, you know, there was another slight incident when I had to jump off when I was in Florida, and you know, good thing I wasn't on. Good thing I wasn't on. Good thing I wasn't on that.
Oh no!
Because you know, we 7-1.
Man, did you just put your chest out for real?
I'm just saying
My
the
boy
truth.
just put his chest out.
I'm just saying.
Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. This boy OC, man. Listen, nobody wants to fight OC. Trust me. I played football with this guy. Yes, he was the preacher in FCA. Yes, he's an upstanding guy. Do not line up across from this dude.
Hey man,
you used to kill me on game day, but hey, they want the film, man. They want the film.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We're gonna give them the film real quick, and I'm gonna give it to you. All right, so, and I just double checked again. The guy that I want to break down is Desmond Trufant, because Desmond Trufant would complete the back end of our defense. As you can see on this film breakdown, he's extremely quick. Okay. And he's always been that way since he was in college. You know, that's now we go through the both pros and cons, because if we get a guy like this, what you do is you definitely can go into the draft with true BPA. Okay, so this is him versus Will Fuller, bottom left corner, and he loses on the end breaking route. That's one of the hardest routes to cover, though. I'm telling you. I mean, I played the position because the receivers are already on the inside, and then they already running quickly on the inside, and it's a lot of times through trash. So that's the only thing that you're going to see with him. I gave you a closer look too, where you can watch the dance. I call it the dance. And what you're going to see a lot of times with Trufant is he loves to do what's called a speed turn. He's also been doing that. See that speed turn? He runs with him, but then watch, he settles with him perfectly, and then he makes a play on the ball. Beautiful feet coming out of that speed turn and anticipating the stop. So, I mean, Trufant has butter. The only problem with Trufant, and we go get into that a little bit too, is Trufant has been struggling with hamstrings and soft tissue injuries. He's also an ex-Atlanta guy, you know, so he was somebody that if you got to get him with a plan. You got to get him with a plan to keep him healthy. And you can see he's very sticky, but he panicked right there and started pulling on the guy. Like, why you do that, Trufant? And he didn't have to do that. My boy Nick in the building. What's up, my boy? Now, and notice something. OC, you notice that they lining them up on always the best receivers. So even though he's 30, they continue to treat him as a number one corner. So he's taking the biggest threats. Right there, they ran a pick route on him to get open, and that's always a sign of respect. When they scheme to get you open, that's a sign of respect. All right, this play didn't make no sense to me to bring him on the blitz coming from the middle of the field. That told me Detroit coaching is kind of wild, because you want to bring a corner on the short side of the field. He was lined up. I just didn't get that. It just showed me, you know, that they can be crazy. But this time on the end breaking route, look at him. He makes the play. Closing speed is excellent, and that's on Anderson. That's not a chump. Anderson is a dog everywhere he goes. And who's lining him all the time? It's your boy Desmond Trufant. So you know, just continue to break him down. Another thing about Desmond that I say just real quick, and just we doing a real live breakdown of him, is he can play pretty much all of it, and he just has fun playing football. Look at him. He's still getting his nose in there. I mean, that play was over with, but he goes in there and still, you know, try to break him off something. And I obviously looked at him, OC, in our division. That speed turn right there was sloppy. You saw it. Yeah, I know you was getting ready to say it on it. His speed turn, he needed to flatten it. It's called flattening. So
on the speed turn, sometimes he's opening up the wrong way, which is causing him to have extra steps.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He really supposed to. He's supposed to actually like literally come flat when you speed turn because the receiver is going flat, so you got to be flat or they gonna make that play and cause separation. But at the same time, he's a solid tackle, man. You know what my comp is on him, man?
What's that?
He's a mix. He's a mix to me of Owuzie and Jordan Lewis on everything. I think if you could put two people together, that's true fun. Solid tackler, but soft tissue issues, just like Owuzie. A dog takes the challenges like Jordan Lewis, you know. So now that's who I think is one of the candidates that I have that would complete the back end, you know. So we're going to be revealing a whole lot more people like this. We just decided to do this on the show. We was going to either do a video about it, where it's going to be a standalone video on True Font, or we was going to do it in this mode to where we actually showcase him and do it within the show. Since we got a lot of people watching, we decided to do this. I still might do a video on him, but at the same time, we're going to be doing this throughout free agency. Now, be patient. I'm just telling y'all, sometimes I'll do a video and then a video release and that person will be signed. None of us trying to do that on here. It's just free agency is real fluid, you know. So sometimes we'll take an hour to do a video or more, a lot of times more, but to actually break it down. So y'all just be patient, because we're going to be revealing more and more candidates that we feel could come in and really complete this back end. Did you have any thoughts on what you just saw with True Fun, my brother?
Yeah, True Fun is a guy that is quick. I like that he's active and he makes plays on the ball. I mean, technically he makes some errors, right? But listen, he's an upgrade from the people that we have. And I mean, I think that he has elite breaking speed. I agree with that. I think that he is competitive, and I think that he's going to give you a chance to make plays when the ball is in the air. And that's what you want in today's NFL. This is a passing man's league, right? So you want a guy that's quick enough to stay up with quick receivers, and a guy that's going to actually make an attempt to make plays on the ball. And so I like him for a great value. And I think that, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, hey, yeah, we can get him. It'd be a fantastic upgrade. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I like this comment right here, and I'm not going to fight it because Steven Johnson, he just made a good point. He said, no more injured guys, please. And see, that's why I called him a Marshall's pick. He's a Marshall's pick. So a Marshall's pick is when you were a former great, either a former first or you played formerly great in the league, and for whatever reason you're devalued. It could be through injuries, or it could be through having an overstock at your position. That's what he is. And so that's my way of meeting Steven in the middle. You know what I mean? It's like, if you want the price you want, you're going to need to sometimes take some of these guys with flaws, or you're going to be fussing at the free agents we picking up because they're healthy, but they're not game changers. Where you'll get a guy like him and say, listen, we're going to have to put a lot of Band-Aids on him, and we're going to have good depth. But at the same time, if we can get through a season with him, we might win something. So great balance. I like he's an elite breaking on the ball, and he's a former number one corner, and he's a competitor. What else? Now I looked at his cons. I said he's aging, he has injury history, and he needs to sharpen his speed turns. But that's about it for me, OC, in terms of just like my knocks on True Fun. You know.
Yeah, he can play better in terms of technical things, but you know, the encouraging thing is that technical things can be cleaned up. The question remains about our defensive pass coordinator. If we pick up a guy like that, can he clean up his technical issues? Right, his age is his age. He can't do anything about that.
Right.
Soft tissue injuries are just something that happen in the game of football. That goes into prep, and that goes into how you take care of your body to kind of get yourself in position to where you don't have those things as much as possible, right? So those two things to me cancel out. I mean, can he get the coaching and the correction on the technique that he needs not to give up 4 or 5 yards of space on a speed turn when he only should have gave up 1 or 2, right? Because we know he closes well, right? Even with the mistakes, he still closes well, and he still
closes great, man. Closes great. Well said, OC. And Richard asks, what about safety, boss? We talked about safety yesterday, but it was a lot of technical difficulties. But we got YouTube videos that's out. All right. about safety. So one thing we did a video on, Richard, is we did a video on DeMonte Kazi. We also did a video yesterday, the OC and I, we did it on Canoe Neal. I mean, we really, broke him down. So that was yesterday as well. We talked about Vinny Vaccaro yesterday. And then one of my favorite sleepers right now is Josh Jones, So we did go through safety a lot, So just kind of just highlighting one of them. That's him running right now with Hollywood Brown, making the interception. I hate that slip, but yeah, we did cover him. And then another guy that I, feel real good about that we can bring in for safety is my boy Deron. And like one of the things I like about Deron, and just covering some of the guys yesterday, if you had a patient, go listen to the podcast from yesterday. It's real choppy, but man, if you just really a diehard, you'll just try to stomach it out. But at the same time, like, yeah, Deron, that's my dog. I will feel real good if we just got Deron back there, or Bouye, or definitely a Josh Jones. So the whole time what we doing is off season with the Boss Cowboy Guide, and look at the run right here. This is one of my favorite plays with Henry, and then we go get out of here, y'all. But just look at this. Come on, man. You go up there and bang my boy Henry. You got some big man. You
got some guts.
You got some guts. This is what I mean by safety's got to have two screws loose in their head. That's Henry, y'all. Yeah, oh man, I love this game. OC. So yeah, and then my boy Rio Park said Malik Hooker. I keep hearing Malik Hooker, and I know his film go do good, but man, we'll do film on Malik, because we know Malik will be like a week 3 guy, so we got plenty of time for him. Right, he's not gonna be an instant guy. Somebody go wait till the very last second when they got everybody acquired. He might even go after the draft when it's like so we'll do film on him. But yeah, Malik Hooker, the only reason I didn't do film on him is because he has a major long history with injuries, and it looked like it's going around his leg, which means that he's overcompensating for his injuries. Go ahead, OC.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's all good points, man. His rehab is not appropriate. And so something I'm interested in the chat, man, put down there, if you want me to do a video or Boss Cowboy to do a video on a particular player, man, put it out there. If you're interested in him, it's your time to go ahead and put it inside of the chat. Let us know what you're thinking. We'll give you some content that you want. We got a litany of players that we go do stuff on anyway. But yeah, we'll give you some of the stuff you want. If you drop something in the chat, let us know what you're thinking, how you're feeling. Who do you want to hear about? So Steve Johnson, OC, who you want in the draft? And then me too. Who do I want in the draft? I think that will really help this defense in terms of where they need to be. If they don't pick up a corner like a Trufant, I think you go 2 ways in this draft if you can, if they're available. I think Micah Parsons is a guy that you pick at 10, right? And I think that Farley is a guy that you pick out of Virginia Tech. I think that he's an awesome athletic corner. Virginia Tech corners have a long history of being long and tough and speedy, and I think that he will be a fantastic complement playing on opposite of Diggs. You got 2 young corners that you can build around for a long time. So if I'm in the NFL draft war room with the Cowboys and I'm making a pick, unless there is a Chase available or unless there is a Penei Sewell available, or even those are the only 2. Unless one of those 2 are available, I'm probably going that direction if I'm picking in the draft. That's what I would say.
Yeah, so I want best player available, brother. Now, if it's not some of my ideal picks, I'm team move down. If the corners are left, I'm moving down. I'm hoping to God that we move down, because in my opinion, looking at these guys, I feel like the first round corners this draft, OC, and the second and third round corners are all pretty much in the same gumbo. None of them really clearly separates. And it's like I don't fall for the draft hype, which happens every year. And this is why I warn people, when you're watching the draft, remember, if it's a weak class, they're still going to advertise it as if it's a strong class. Because a lot of this is about selling hope and optimism. You have to really deal with the independent markets and podcasters to hear the truth. Because like even my boy Mike Jones, he said this. He said, I want Pat Surtain at 10. So, and I'm gonna ask you a question, Mike, and we not like we cool with disagreeing on here. Like we
100%.
welcome it. Like we don't treat you different because you think a certain kind of way. True. I disagree with that though. And the reason is because when I watch him and Diggs on the field at the same time, you don't see Surtain just separating. A lot of times Diggs just outright play better. So if you was grading Diggs as a bottom first like I was, a top second rounder in last year's draft, how is Surtain in the top 10? It doesn't correlate. And you see sometimes what I call draft grade mysteries. I'm gonna give you two draft grade mysteries that I spoke about last year that ended up being epically true. It was very silly to have Taylor from Wisconsin, OC, with a second round grade when you had Saquon with a top 5 grade. Because there's no way to look at their production, look at them physically, look at their speed, and grade them that massively different.
In the second half of the year, he may have been the best back in the league. The second part of the year,
no
this year,
doubt.
he may have been the best back in the league the way he played.
He just getting started. And we talking 4.39 speed. Same speed as Saquon. More yards in college than Saquon. Saquon definitely has more agility. You know, he has more wiggle. But if you get that second level with Taylor, he gone. That was a mystery to me. You know what I'm saying? And I put it out there. You know who else was an obvious mystery that they was grading the second and third round when he should have clearly been in the first round? Claypool. True. Claypool, and I put that out there as well. But that's also how I see the corner class. Like the corner class, because and the same thing you could say with the Juju class, who also came out. What was the white receiver that was playing with the Rams? Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp, there you go. Cooper Kupp.
You couldn't say in that class that they was major separating. Like Juju was just as good coming out. Cooper Kupp was just as good coming out as Ridley, as Gallup, all of them, but they was gonna only pick about 3 guys that they was gonna market as first rounders. But you had Sutton, right? Then you had Ridley. No, that wasn't that class. That's the wrong class. I'm sorry. It was Ross. Then it was the guy who went to the Titans. And then it was Williams. Those are the 3 first round receivers. But Juju then was just as good, just as production. That's how I see corner. And that's the only reason I wouldn't take Surtain at 10. That's it. I'm not saying Surtain is a bad player, Mike. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying that. But I'm just saying that's why I would move down, because I feel like we can get a lot better by moving down and getting his type.
Yeah, and I think that if you like a player and you're a team, man, you take them, right, at the end of the day. Because, I mean, in the draft, it only takes one team to really fall in love with you, right? And so we saying all this, and hindsight is always 2020. Pat Surtain is a good corner, man. Do I think he's a top 10 corner? I agree with Boss Cowboy in that regard. No, I don't really think he's a top 10 corner. I think he's a good corner that probably should get drafted at the bottom of the first or beginning part of the second round. But, will he be a top 10 based upon his father being a good player for a long time? We played against his father, by the way. We dating ourselves, but his dad played in Southern Mississippi. So back in the gap. Back in the gap. So anyway, we played against his dad in college, right? So
I forgot.
Good pedigree, man.
I remember Surtain. He knocked out Clint to grow teeth.
Knocked his teeth out. That's a guy.
I
That played. Y'all
remember
don't know him. Yeah, you don't know him.
a receiver that played for us.
Yeah.
His teeth, Sertain Daddy knocked his teeth out. Me and the OC was right there. We saw the teeth go this way, his chin strap went this way, and his earpiece went the other way.
Yeah.
And see, and I remember that game. They were so mad at us because we was the Conference USA champions. That's what this rig is. We was the bowl champions for Conference USA, and we took them out. And remember when we showed up to their stadium, they had 363 days. They counted down that day. Ooh. Yeah, forget Sertain. Sertain, I don't like you or your daddy. You know? That boy daddy was nice.
He was nice. On the analytical piece of it, I think that at the end of the day, man, I mean, everybody's draft board is different. I mean, the Cowboys are going to pick the player that they think is best for the organization. We're giving you our opinion. I mean, Pitts is a great athlete, to Cush's point. Fantastic if he's there. I don't have a problem with that pick either. But I think that, you know, in my opinion, I think that the Cowboys are going to go defense. That's my opinion. Boss Cowboy sees it a little bit differently, and that's okay. But I think they're going defense with that 10th pick.
Ooh, look at Steven. Man, he went left. Steven said, speaking of sexual assault, how many games will Watson miss? I'm going to let it play out, man. No comment right now. I got to let the evidence play out. That's what I did with Zeke. I let the evidence play out, and as the evidence played out, I really strongly became of the major opinion that he was majorly railroaded. Majorly. So, you know, we got to be careful with these situations, because it can be a setup, but it also could be to where he's a creep. And it's we owe the victims, if they're victims, enough prudence to take our time. And we owe Watson enough prudence to take our time. That'd be my answer on that.
Yeah. Great answer.
So I want to say one more thing though, man. I want to start no fight before we get out of here.
Go ahead.
But I think Pitts is getting way overhyped, bro.
I think he's slightly overhyped. I don't think he's way overhyped. I think that he's a tall, athletic guy that's a tremendous mismatch. Think about him as a better version of the late, and not to bring up another thing that could be very controversial, Aaron Hernandez, who ended up, you know, hanging himself, right? Because he's a big, tall guy, but he's faster than Aaron Hernandez was, and he has better hands. So if you place the ball anywhere in the zip code, he can catch it, and he's a mismatch against anybody, right? Against anybody. So I think he's a good player. Do I think he's a top 10 player? In my opinion, if you look at all the players in this draft, I don't think that Pitts is really a top 10 player. I have him a top 25 player, though, Boss Cowboy, in terms of talent.
My boy Geese said, we gonna fight on this one. Well, call in. Damn it. If you want to fight, call in. Geese, I already got you built in the show. Full time, homeboy. Hold on real quick, OC. Let me show this dude real quick. Geese, look, whenever you want to come in, come on in, buddy. Have a seat. You already built in already. So if you want to come in and get this slap, I will give it to you. But I honestly know you don't want that right now. I know you don't want that. I know it. So I'm gonna let you make it to the next time. I promise you. But nah, man, I think he overhyped. But I'm gonna say that debate for Geets. He seemed like he wanted, so I'm gonna save it for you, my man. I'm gonna save it for you. And see, when I point my finger like this, boy, I'm serious in the mud, boy. I get you, boy. Don't you ever in your life.
See, but see, you gotta stop pointing that finger, because you know the last time what happened when somebody did that to you. So you don't like nobody pointing that finger, wagging that finger.
Yeah, I mean, you know, hey, but this is a little bit different because he way in South Carolina, man. That's South Carolina.
Right,
he can't do nothing to me, man. He ain't gonna come to Texas with his pistol. You know what I mean? No, he not gonna do all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and be bold and brave right now and point my finger at my boy and tell you, Geach, don't you ever in your life think you gonna come in Boss Cowboy Sports with this blasphemy that you talking about. Cause man, like he one of them too that's super, man. Hold on real quick. Hold on.
Hold on, boss.
No, this is Geach right now, man. I can't even believe Geach. Geach, look at you, man. You done just super drunk the Kool-Aid.
But
You
hold
know,
on, boss cowboy. We got to be fair to the people. Now I'm gonna cut you off right now
all
because
right.
you can't just go off and be talking about that you write about all this and all that when you have not given a reasonable justification as to your statement, right? So you need to give some reasonable justification to your statement of why Pitts is overhyped.
It's simple. Production. Like people getting drunk on gym shorts and height. You know, and he make plays and it's splashy. It's very flashy. But it's not as guaranteed as we act. And I'm saying this because we've all seen this damn story before. We've all seen no fit, no miss. Hawkins, no miss. OJ, no miss. All of those we said was no miss, and they always, well, they say this is what they say, but Pitts different. Pitts is different though. He different. Listen, this is what I think. Pitts will be successful in Dallas, but Pitts ain't gonna be successful everywhere. Everybody acting like he's a no miss. You can greatly miss on him because you know what you gotta have with him. He gotta have a quarterback. If you don't got a touch quarterback, you not gonna get the best out of him because his separation is not as clean. You know, and he's bullying college guys. It get a little bit different when you step in that league and them guys also got 40-inch verticals, homie. It get a lot different. So I'm not sold on the nuance of him. Now, I believe he's gonna be a route runner? Yes, but do I think he gonna just scorch earth the league? I'm not quite sold on that yet.
I disagree, boss. In one half, and I agree on the other half. Okay, tight end is a position that you can't make yourself great.
They going off of it.
You can't make yourself great if you're a tight end, right? You got to have a quarterback, but also you got to have a good play caller that knows how to scheme and get you against mismatches. You see what I'm saying? Right? But to your point, athletically speaking, the man is superior. Okay, the man is 6'7". He can run. He appears to me that he's gonna. And I have real good eyeballs, boss, for this. And I'm normally right.
Me too.
And I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying I do. All right. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about me. So I'm saying that this guy's go grade out fine when he tests right. He can jump. He got hands. All that stuff. So if you put him in the right situation with the right quarterback, I think that he is a guy that definitely will thrive. That's what I'm gonna say about that.
So I'm seeing all this, but he's 6'6". He's 6'6". Oh, he's 6'6". Boss, his 10-yard split was. I see, just right. I said that Keach put that crap in there. They all do that, bro. They all. I'm telling you, it's some Jim Jones Kool-Aid going around. His split was 1.5. It was an all-time split. OC, you know what? Did you ever brag on splits?
No, because my split was like a 1.38 when I ran a 40 when I was healthy. My split was fast. My 10 yard, excuse me, my 10 yard was quick.
You see my point? You know we call people that gauge. You know, because how many times have me and you been in a track meet or saw a track meet where a guy would get out, pow, and a real fast dude would walk him down
all the time.
So I'm not hearing nothing on this split, and I'm not even caring about no 6'6". I'm not. Now,
6'6"
don't think I'm saying don't think I'm saying he's sorry either. I believe I believe he a top 10. But I think he's around 10ish to 15. I don't think he's as sure as top 10 as the others may be. I really don't. Yeah, now I'm saying he's a solid player. He's solid, but there is. Oh my God, no, Douglas, no, y'all going way too damn. No, stop this right now. Ooh, do you know what you saying when you say this? Do you? Oh my God, I would take on the whole world right now with this one. Y'all not gonna insult my man Shannon Sharp like this. Matter of fact, ooh, if I had that call line, I would call you right now. And I do got it, but I ain't tested it yet. Cause I swear to God, you're not gonna ever call in with this stuff you just said. This Shannon Sharp. What? Oh my God. Yeah. No, I agree with this part though, Matt. What Matt said, I agree with. Yeah. Now for us, Matt, I'm cool with him, and then I'm cool. I'm very cool with him. You know, for us. But it's one of those things. Let me ask y'all a question. I'm gonna ask everybody a question real quick. Who you taking, Pitts or Chase?
That's easy.
Who you taking?
Chase.
Okay.
All day
Okay.
long.
Okay, put in the chat box before we get out of here. Cause what I'm gonna do when we get this call line, I'm gonna let every one of y'all call up here and debate me on this, and we go debate live. That's what we go do. Everybody who wants some of this smoke, I'm gonna give you some of this smoke, and cause I think it's slightly what's going on is. Yeah. See, and I'm seeing in the chat. I'm already seeing. DA Lee said I moved to go, folks. DA, how I moved to go?
Yeah, but
oh
no,
my
the fans,
God,
the fans are starting to see how boss. Because sometimes you do that though. You shift gears on them, though, boss. You do
man.
kind of
I'm
do
consistent, bruh.
Okay, all right.
I'm consistent like a water on table, like on a table. Like I don't move.
We got to do a show talking about the possible scenarios and draft picks, man, and then be ready to break all these players down. That's the only way we can solve this. That's it. That's the only way we can solve it. Do a show, man, breaking down scenarios of the draft picks. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way. Because we can put this to bed.
Because I'm cool. Like, I'm cool with Pitts, but this is what I'm gonna say. Everybody needs to stop acting like there's no red flags on this. Because if 6'6" was the answer to everything, why did Hakeem Butler? He was 6'6", and he had more production out of Iowa. Where is he?
It's true.
At Phoenix doing nothing. He's 6'6". He's a red zone weapon. He had more production. He just didn't block. But he was a mismatch when he was in college. He was a bully, and I'm just saying, this is what I'm really saying. Tight end is one of the hardest positions to evaluate. It is. Like just think about it. All of us, including me, was like, OJ is going to destroy the league. Right? Coming out of Alabama. All of us. He ran a low 4.5. He killed a Senior Bowl. He killed a national championship. He checked all the boxes. Flat. Noah Fant. Oh my God. Look at Noah Fant. Super fast. Big, tall target. Killed at Iowa. Flat. Well, we are flat. Hoskins killed at Iowa. It's hard, man. You don't take a position that's that hard to get right and then just act like it's certain that he's gonna. And just look at how many really good tight ends it is in the league right now. How many really? Like a handful, literally.
Handful.
That's asking a lot, bro.
Handful. Yeah. Good point.
So I mean, I'm just saying, let's not act like there's not a other side to this too, to where we all can be totally wrong on him. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it 100. You know, I'm just leaving room that where if he end up playing good, I say yeah, he's good, and he did that in college. But if he end up just falling off a cliff, I'm gonna say it's something about tight end where it just, I don't know why it don't translate as easily. Yeah. So if y'all try to debate me, you go lose. That's what I'm telling you. So when I get this call line, y'all better be ready, because I'm very mercilessly too, man. I don't show no mercy. And we already got it. We might debut it tomorrow. Y'all gonna start seeing us go live a lot more. Y'all already see we went live 2 days in a row. We really talking about going live every day. I just think the whole team scared. Geet scared. He could have came on today. Buddha scared. He could have came on today. Tav was like, I'm cool on the day. I'll do it Sunday. Everybody scared. So, like, you know, it's all good. I do it by myself. I go on and then I take the calls by myself, and then we go debate this out. I promise you. But before we get out of here, we do always want to say our goodbyes the right way. OC, definitely let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, CB the OC, CB the OC look at me on Instagram, all right, and then you can find me on Facebook too. But I'm gonna have them come up with a page, boss, so you can take that off, all right. So you can. I'm gonna come on my own page here pretty soon, all right. So, but find me
Get you
CB.
scared.
See, you know what I mean. Find me that on Instagram and follow me there. That'll be the best place to follow me. If you want to talk to me, hit me on Instagram. That'll be the best way to get me.
And you see how these boys act? Get you over here. Man, boss, your ass ain't hit me. So I got to hit you. Or I got to hit you. I got to be like, hey, man, let's do a show. That's how we got to do it now. You supposed to be, see, I already told you, you can walk in the house whenever you want to because you're a part of the official BCS team. You can walk in the house whenever you want to and you can just sit your butt down, Geach. So I ain't hearing this, my brother. Same thing with you, E-Kush. You welcome, brother. You can walk right on in the door whenever you Keystone. Y'all walk right on in. Picante, walk in the door. Whenever y'all want to, y'all come on in. See, but I know y'all don't want this smoke today. I already know y'all don't want the smoke. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just keep saying my goodbyes, and we going to do it like that until y'all ready. Because y'all not ready. And I mean that. So you can definitely find us at Boss Cowboy Sports. You could definitely see us putting out some more material on free agents, and we go do a lot, obviously continue to break down our signings. And that's what we go do. When we sign a player, we go come over here and break them down. And then we go also continue to break down sleepers that we feel like makes this team better. We're going to approach it from both ways. We really are. And so also the Twitter's starting to jump. Thanks everybody, especially William Kill. I gotta say he kills it on all the platforms. Everybody get on all the platforms now. Like, go get over to the Twitter, follow me at that handle, because I do stuff on Twitter that I don't do on Facebook, and I do stuff on Facebook that I don't do on YouTube. So you'll get a little side of Boss Cowboy everywhere. So obviously with the Instagram and then the YouTube, everything else is Boss Cowboy Sports. And we really, 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 really appreciate people that like William Kill. I don't really want to put him out there, but he blessed us. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to name no more names, but really appreciate the support. Really do appreciate the support, because we put back into the show. We majorly put back into the show, and it's because y'all support us and put dollars in this. Now, thank y'all for being patient on the Patreon. And I'm going to just tell y'all what happened with that. What happened with the Patreon is that we put the call line in front of our own dollars. We could have chose one this weekend. We had one opportunity to work with one of the best producers, right, to get the call line going. We chose the fans over the dollars. So just once we get that up, y'all just reward us back. You know what I mean? Because we want to be able to take y'all calls, right? And then we actually go back and forth on this, and we already got that. All right. So, but really, we appreciate y'all patience on that. But we always go sit here, and I always believe, man, it's about being loyal. So as you can see, OC didn't hold back no punches when he was breaking down those free agents. And then I didn't hold back any punches, because we're loyal, we're not devoted. We go tell everybody, the Joneses, my thoughts on Pitts. I'm telling you what I really believe from my heart, because I'm being loyal. I'm not trying to lie to y'all, and I'm not trying to put on the show to just get followers and some fans. I think y'all go follow us because we genuine. And so I just wanted to say that before we get out of here, man. And y'all make sure y'all stay up and be blessed.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Shout out Sean.